All right, so I'm sharing my screen again. Can you guys see this?
Yes, Sahil.
Yep.
Please confirm. Thanks,
Yeah.
Samir. And sorry, Vidu. Okay, so I'll again start from the beginning. First of all, we are taking a session for SCCM. This is again 2 weeks of course, and in these 2 weeks, I'll try to cater as much as possible. And this software, Microsoft System Center Configuration Manager, is all about to administer devices and applications, which are there for medium, large, and enterprise organization. This can help you leverage and can manage all the potential devices which are there on your network. Okay, so is a sense of this training is to make you understand what capabilities of this software, what it can do, and anything and everything which is there on which have a OS operating system, we can leverage and we can manage that. Okay, so this will help you well positioning yourself, stepping into a specialized device management role, and effectively you can manage your network. Okay, this course is also a preparation for your MD 102 certification exam. So if you are preparing or you are intending to do that, or you're pursuing, or you are mid of something, you can take this advantage of this course. You can uh, learn from the provided practical skills. You can all you can do that all in the real world implementation. So you don't need to uh, directly jump into the infrastructure and start doing this. And this I have trained this course for over 2 weeks. I was given only 2 weeks to run this SCCM training session. In though this is gonna be week 6 or 4, 5 or 6 weeks, something like that. So, but we'll try to uh, cover as much as possible things here. So we'll try to master you with the SCSM installation, client management, content distribution, operating system deployment, application management, and cloud integration. Okay, so these things will try to nurture and help you leveraging. Okay, next, introduction and SCCM installation. So in introduction, as I talked about what capabilities of SCCM, how this is not first time that SCCM came into the market. SCCM is from long time. So SCCM is very comprehensive. It is like a system management software which is designed by Microsoft. It is widely used for by the IT departments in medium and large organization to manage deployments and applications. This is also like the core functionality, and each and everything we'll try to sum up in the next slide. I'll also try to spin some of virtual labs. Okay, though I'm still fighting for from universities to provide me the instance and provide me the infrastructure how where I can set up. But though the discussion and approval still pending, so virtual lab, we have so many constraints. So I'll try to see what I can get and how can I kickstart, but we'll certainly have a virtual lab. Okay, and designing an installation of SCCM. So we'll try to design how we can do this in optimal infrastructure, how we can prepare the environment, what we can do and not, all those stuff we'll talk about here. Okay, next, as I talked in the client and device configuration, we'll be talking more about the boundaries and boundary groups. So first of all, let me sum up what are the core functions that it can do. First, it can do all the software deployments. Okay, so software deployments does consist of applications, your updates, your operating system, everything it can do. It can also do the silent installation and version control. Okay, it can do patch management, it can do the operating system deployment, uh, it can do hardware and software inventory, remote control, compliance settings, your endpoint protection, supporting each and everything. So we'll talk on all these things. So let me talk let me break it down. Boundaries and boundary groups, as I talked, boundaries is something which is a network defined, a sort of LOC, I would say, a control where you can have a client assignment and your content, preparation. So you should not be uh, you have a ring fence, you should not be crossing that. Okay, this is something, as I talked, we have a sales team, HR team, and marketing team. So I don't want application which HR is using should go to sales, or the same salesperson is using the same should go to HR. So likewise we'll do that here. And also we'll look for the active directory discovery methods, which will help us discovering all the resources which are available and what to take and what to not. And creating a device and user collection, this will again ring fence your devices so it will make a logical groups, and in that logical groups we can target our requirements. Okay, whatever we want we can organize through these devices. Then configuring the maintenance window. So wherever you go, uh, if you are making any changes, which is an infrastructure level, so you don't want to disrupt your business. So just to curb and minimize those disruption, you want to schedule that at a specific time, and you want to, plug and play the updates. So by using the maintenance window, you can suffice this without having any disruption in your businesses. Okay, so content distribution and reporting, we'll talk about the setting up the infrastructure, how we can uh, target the content management over the network, how we can surpass, how we can make uh, content available at certain locations so clients can utilize it. And distribution point will deploy the servers. This is mainly when you're doing, distribution. uh, when you want to do the content distribution, there should be something which can take that, as a content. Okay, so I'll sum up that at the end of the slide. We'll talk about these things. Then we have a managed content. Managed content is all about maintaining and distributing the software packages. For example, currently in my infra, there is a throttle. There is not much speed, or there is something which is choking up over the network. Someone has deployed something which has choked the network, and I don't want any person now to distribute anything over the network. So maybe over the network, or maybe over the distribution points. So I want to curb that through the, I mean, using managed content, we can, we can stop, and you can uh, curb those deployments. Then configuring reporting services. So we require SSRS, which is SQL Server Reporting Services. So here we will be using SQL Server 2022 standard evaluation version, through which we will try to create custom reports. Though there are multiple inbuilt reports available in SCCM, which we can utilize for our purposes. But if anything uh, which is something different, then you can also do the custom. I can tweak the reports. You can utilize that. Okay. Okay. Next, when talking about the OS deployment and site administration. So OS deployment, when we're talking about automating deployment of Windows operating systems to new or existing machines. Right now, I think everyone is much more aware about when we are getting a new laptop, or maybe we are getting a old laptops which is, customized with the OS, with the standard of our company, norms. So this is done by operating system deployment. This is a service which is called WDS. So we'll talk about all these. So this through this software, you can prepare your infrastructure, you can set the standard of your operating system deployment, and you can manage your site well, easily, well planned. So you can support the imaging, you can support the installation process of uh, operating system. So you can do the bulk deployment. Okay. of image deployment bulk in a one go, and you can do this with the centralized console of SCCM. You can do this from the remote as well. You don't need to sit at one location. You need to run that all. Okay, so we'll talk about the infrastructure preparation, site role management, and image deployment. Okay, then the more robust role, we'll talk about the RBAC, which is role-based administration. So role-based administration gives you or allows you granular control over what users can see and do. For example, I am a fresher, in your team, and I am just wanting to explore the SCCM, but I don't have much insight, or I don't have much knowledge. What if I do something? I'm not sure what I. So you must be giving me certain security scopes, and you can give me some certain steps, set of permissions. So using that security scopes, I should be getting, or I should be seeing only that which I am requiring. I don't want to indulge much in sense of exploring the environment as a newbie. Okay. Then site maintenance, as I talked, when we're doing any backup or configuration, when we're doing any recovery or status monitoring, health vulnerabilities, or anything, when we are running all these site maintenance. So we'll talk about that as well. Client management and inventory. So what this software can do, it can do all those clients deployments, means it can deploy the site, it can deploy the clients using manual push installation methods. So if you have new machines coming into your infrastructure and SCCM client is not there on your machine, so you can utilize this software, you can push this on these by doing the manual or push installation. There are other ways of doing this, that as well, through the script and through the group policy also. So that is the one. Then client health. Client means there is a small tiny software which is there on your device, and a centralized software is sitting, maybe somewhere at London or maybe somewhere. And being an as administrator, I can configure, I can do the monitoring, and I can manage your client, and I can understand the health metrics of your client. So means through this tiny SCCM client on your PC, it keeps on sending the heartbeat, it keeps on sending the information to the server, to the administrator, that yes, this client is healthy, this client is available, this client is okay to communicate. That's what. Inventory collection, we'll talk about configuring hardware and software inventory. So this software is that robust that it can help you, uh, it can help you configure, it can help you to assess what is your hardware, configuration, what is your software, all, through the asset intelligence. You can look around, you can see which application is being utilized and what level. So this is how you can, you know you can utilize, you can understand what is the consumption of your license, and through the metering you can, you know maybe you can curb that. If those applications which are not being used in a much in sense, you can, you can stop those, and you can, take down those licenses, so it can better be a cost effective sense. Then remote tools, through the remote tools you can take the remote of a client machine, you can do the desktop management stuff and all those stuff. For that, we have remote tools, software is also available that you can utilize, and you can do all those stuff. Okay. Now, when I'm talking about application management and software updates, so application management is, again, everyone know that we are not allowed to download anything from the software, any software from the internet directly. Okay, anything if you want, you need to request uh, through a channel, maybe a form or something, or you need to take your request to your manager, and your manager approves, and then it goes to, to application manager or a team who actually takes care of it. So some of us would like to see some sort of application which are required for their daily purposes, but due to certain criteria, we were not allowed to download it from the internet directly. But we can also request, and once it's request, it goes to the packaging team, which are the team which are responsible to package those applications, meeting the certain criteria and meeting our organization's uh, norms. And then once the vendor is what do you say, vendor is proved, yes, this is the right software with the right certificate, vendor is authenticated, everything is okay, then we do allow that software. So using having said that, we can do all sort of application type deployment with this application. We can do the traditional way of deploying applications. We can run the PowerShell scripts also. We can do the virtualization of the applications as well, and we can also integrate all those Microsoft Store applications. So be it your traditional application, your virtual applications, your Microsoft Store apps, your Office 365 applications, everything uh, you can integrate and you can do all those sort of deployment. Okay. Now comes to operating system deployment. So operating system deployment is something that you, as I talked, when we are doing any sort of automation to deploy the Windows operating system images to new or existing machines. And there is a way of doing it. There is in distribution points, there is term called pxc. Okay, through pxc boot we can create a task sequence, we can inject the drivers and all, we can do that. So having said that, with this preparation tool or with this operating system management capability, you can do the OS upgrade, you can do the integration of analytics softwares and services, you can do all sort of new and old application image upgrade, and you can start from the scratch as well. If you have a fresh machine which does not have any OS installed, so you can also do that. So everything can be done from this software. Then the crucial thing is all about the software updates. So software updates is something which is core of heart for every operating system. So every operating system means I'm talking about your mobile or your desktop, laptops, anything does have a software installed there. They have a update associated with that. So we require these software updates to comply uh, with our security measures. So we should there should not be an obsolete, software, and there should not be something which is threatened or vulnerable. And if it's not patched on time, it's not deployed and updated on time, it may be vulnerable, and due to which it can be attacked by outsider. So having this SCCM application, we can do all those software update, infrastructure update. We can do the updates of deployment through this application. We can do the automatic deployment as well. Means you don't need to run any software deployment every month. uh, Everyone is aware that Microsoft, releases the patch every second Tuesday. I think it's very common. Everyone knows it. So, as we know, for this month also, tomorrow is a patch Tuesday. So we'll get updates, and these updates belongs to your operating system, and uh, vulnerabilities and all those stuff is embedded. So we are, as an administrator, it's our responsibility to deploy all these to all machines which are there in your infrastructure, so we can manage the compliance. Okay, and also your client, pitching in, he's asking like why the compliance rate is lesser than 90% or maybe 95. Somehow I have heard that they require it 98%, 99%. Okay, so all these you can do this from here. You can update, you can prepare for update, you can run the deployment rules, you can do the compliance monitoring, so you can understand which machine or which set of machines are updated, which one is not, and all those stuff. So you can do this. Okay, now when I'm talking about mobile device management, now everyone is more you know, more in terms of using mobile in terms of laptop, because mobile is slightly easier way of handling anything than the opening laptop and doing stuff. So this software is now integrated with cloud integration. Now you have full cloud management capabilities, means you can do all those stuff from your SCCM to your mobile devices without having any disturbance. There is a functionality called co-management, which allows you to run your on premises on hybrid mode to cloud management. Okay, so this will also talk about when we're doing autopilot and all, setting up your mobile devices. So MDM capabilities, which is again mobile device management and exchange integration. So you can also manage all these from here. And from security infrastructure security point of view, there is a PKI which can be set up, which is a sort of certificate which helps your infrastructure making more safe and robust. Okay, and so lastly, when we're talking about more capabilities in terms of internet based clients on mobile devices, so this PKI helps to make the secure communication, and it ensures that yes, your devices are configured properly as per your relevant configuration, your compliance settings, and it is adhering to your company's norm. Okay, if anything, two things it checks. First, it checks about the role, whether you are privileged enough to access that network, and the second, do the device compliant or not. So these two things are checked. If those are compliant, that you have access to the network, you have access to the resources and everything. So for mobile device management, we'll try to set up Exchange Server Connector configuration. We'll do on-premises MDM implementation and all those stuff. Let me see when I have infrastructure, what sort of you know configuration are given to me. Accordingly, I'll try to plan it out. Okay. Okay. So let me introduce myself. This is my AI version. Okay, it's not me. So myself, Vaibhav Kumar, and I have 14 years of experience, extensive experience with end user computing, and I'm currently working with Tele2 account. I was earlier working with IQVIA, and it's been like 5 years, 5.5 years with the Hexaware Technologies. So I have worked with TCS, Capgemini, Infosys, Concentrix, and SecureTech, which were a giant and was starting at a newbie in terms of security and cybersecurity. So I have worked uh, all these companies which were more into end user computing and have enough experience, handling all those. So I don't say expert, but yes, I have enough knowledge and understanding about the modern workplace technologies. uh, in this session, I'll try to transfer my knowledge, whatever I have. Maybe uh, I could, justify what I am advised and I am supposed to. Uh, and certification wise, yes, I'm certified with MD 102, so which is again 365 administrator. It all talks about your this certification talks about more of SCCM in infrastructure setup, your Azure cloud, sort of your Intune, and Windows Autopilot. Okay, so I've covered all these, and AZ 900. I think everyone is know about. This is a basic certification for Azure. This is for more administrator, and this is more of architect level AZ 305. So all I have done enough. So this was a overview, and I have taken much time on that. Okay, so I'll quickly jump to another slide. Okay, this was an overview about the course and all. Now we'll be purely talking about SCCM in the next slide. Okay, one second. Let me flip it if I can do that. One second. Okay, so though it's a 1 hour session, I don't want to give any break in mid. Okay, I know after this you guys can take break. Okay, so now the front face of Microsoft from the edges. Now, this SCCM software has given so much in terms of revenue. It's so robust. It has been so integrated with the infrastructure. Like, I think every IT company, more or less, are using SCCM. Okay, if they are more of in terms of having more devices, they are more secure, they don't want to rely on other softwares like Tanium or other. So now things have been changed. Now, since AI and integration of cloud has happened, so many new tools has come, and it was there earlier, but though we were into Microsoft ecosystem, so we are more in terms of relying on the Microsoft product. And SCCM, has been there. It has been the number one from ages. So So System Center Configuration Manager, it is again a comprehensive tool. It talks about your infrastructure, it manages all your devices, it's unprecedented. You have a control, you can manage as an administrator, you can do anything, everything what you want in your environment. Okay. What core capabilities? Yes, you can control, you can manage the permission, you can access the network, you can stop, you can enable all those stuff you can do in your network administrator. You have that capabilities with this. Configuration wise, yes, you can set up certain level of configuration to your all the devices. So if you want to, you know, make some changes in your devices particularly and you want to move them into a desired state, you can do that. And you can also revoke these devices from a desired state to your early stage wherever it was earlier. Monitoring, in sense, you can, yes, track the performance metrics, health status, and you can do it both ways. You can do the hardware also, you can do the software also. You can also automate certain things, like if you want to do schedule your routine task like deployments, reduce the manual intervention. If you want to do some monitoring, you want to prepare a report and you want to send that to your email and all that, you can do it. Okay, you don't need to do each thing manually every day. So primary features, what it can do, as I talked, it is more of automated updates which can synchronize through WSUS. Okay, using this, you can have all those Microsoft updates synced to your configuration manager, and using that, you can understand, identify which one is to supersede, which one is not, and you, all those sync. Once it's happened, you can patch your desktop, laptop, servers, and mobile devices. Everything you can do this with the software. And delivery applications, as I talked, it is more of a centralized tool, so you can optimize the delivery. You can restrict, optimize, deliver, delay, schedule, whatever you want. You can do it. Deployment of operating system, yes, you can do it with the Windows deployment services. This will help you enabling OS installation. Now we are more into Windows 11 22 H2, so you can do that. And there is a flexible reporting services, which is SSRS, SQL Server Reporting Services. This gives you insight of what is there in your database. Okay. Hardware inventory, again, you can collect detailed hardware specification from all the connected devices. So if you want to check certain device configuration for certain set of devices, you can do that. You can run the hardware inventory and can pull up the data from there. And software inventory, again, if you want to track down license wise, to safeguard whether your organizations or your users are not excess uses of licenses, you can do that. Asset intelligence is again gives you inventory data which can help you as a business. You can help you understand what is the software need, which software is being used, in a humongous level, which one is being utilized in a low level. Like you are paying for a software license which is quite huge, and the usage or the number of the users for that application is very less. So through asset intelligence you can understand whether you want to keep those or not. Okay, so this is how you can help in transforming your raw inventory data into actionable item. Okay, then your compliance management, this will help you to ensuring whether your organization is having a configuration settings which are being met by your in the environment by the devices or not, that you can also utilize it. Okay, now just a small just of these size system rules. So if any machines which having a system rules installed, sort of DCs and all that have a site system, okay, that is called size system rule. Site server is something which will have a configuration manager setup executed. Okay, then component server, which again host SMS executive services, which helps you to leverage and connects to your devices and your services in SCCM. Database internal, again, where you host your database instances, and SMS provider, which is nothing but an interface which connects your SCCM and your database. Now, site system roles, there is a management point, okay, which is a role in SCCM. This helps to provide the policies and service location to your client. So this information is can be provided by your management point only. So I mean, I would say if your client wants to connect, so they will talk to management point, and then they can get the policies and everything from there. Okay, then distribution point, which where you host all your contents, and you download all those stuff from here. So distribution point is needed, and software update point, which again talks about integration of your software update, which is again sent by or provided by Microsoft. Okay, now additional system roles are there, which I mean these roles were, these are important roles, and this is also important, but in terms of additional servicing level. When I say servicing level, reporting services, again, it is required for analytical approach. If you are since you're having a bulk environment, you have lots of devices and you want to keep track all of this and all are compliant or not. So this reporting service point will help you to generate the reports and make you understand what's going on as an analytical way. Asset intelligent point, it will help you synchronization point of view. It will help you understand whether your assets are intact, those all are complying with your company policies or not, or business standards. Then endpoint protection, okay, this one is the I would say the cybersecurity and all those stuff, which when it comes. So this is the most crucial ones at the moment, and this gives you manage your anti-malware and for firewalls, security, standards, services, all those stuff. It helps you to integrate and monitor. So this is the most crucial, I would say, point. And service connection point, it again helps you to connect via Microsoft Intune. Okay, it is more of to connecting your remote devices which are available uh, outside the network on sort of mobile and remotely available. Okay, so why we implement this is a $1 million question, why we need this software after having so much discussion and all about. So first thing first, being as an administrator, this question was asked by me, so I just kept it with me. Why we require SCCM, why we do the implementation for this software. So again, this software is streamlined, and it gives you option to patch reducing the vulnerabilities in Windows operating systems. And again, it leverages you more in terms of RBAC and all, to make more robust environment. And operational efficiencies, again, there is ADR and all, which is again give you more granular approach to deploy the updates, installation of operating systems with using task sequence. And also we don't need to, I think there are lots of debates in terms of talking about the softwares which are available in the market and SCCM. So SCCM, it's from the ages, it's not just newbie, so there is no questions or concerns about it. And cost reduction, again, when you implement this in your business, there is a consolidation in terms of lowering your cost, and it gives you the reduction so you can better manage your organization more in efficient way. Okay, so this was the last slide, and I would like to thank you everyone. I hope this has been informative for you, and I would like to thank you everyone for viewing.